Most learning platforms are really built for a world that's not going to exist that much longer. They were designed to store courses, track completions, and check a compliance box. But the question organizations are leaning into more so than ever, it's not necessarily what courses should my learners complete, it's what skills that are actually missing. What does this person need right now to perform their job? My guest today lives in the world of this dynamic technology shift that's happening. Pramil Verma, he's a COO of MapleLMS, and we're going to get into what the AI-first learning platform actually looks like in the future, and why roadmaps for this type of technology are kind of becoming educated guesses as opposed to those structured linear paths that they used to have in the past. His analogy I absolutely loved, and it stuck with me. He said that static learning paths are kind of like the printed map that we all used to travel with. And now AI is the new GPS that's going to reroute you in real time based off of your role, your skills, your goals, and what's actually changing in your life. If you own a learning strategy or a platform and you're curious about what's changing in the future, what this tech's going to evolve into, you're going to want to hear this one. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Erick Prospero here with the Microlearning Lab. Today we're going to be discussing the future of LMS tech, and I think this question is more important than ever considering the amount of evolution happening in this space. We have Pramil Verma, the Chief Operating Officer here at MapleLMS, which is an AI-powered Salesforce integrated learning management system. He has over 2 decades of experience in business strategy, organizational development, and global technology partnerships. And what I'm excited to say about this is they are leaning into this evolution of AI. So, Pramil, at a high level, can you tell us more about yourself and what you guys are doing in this space?
Hi, Eric, and really appreciate for quick introduction. Obviously, I'm Pramil Verma and I'm Chief Operating Officer in MapleLMS. We have been right now covering the North America and the US. However, we have expanded to Europe and ANZ as well, and few other parts of the world that we are continuously expanding. It's true, I am having more than 2 decades of experience, but more into I'm right now with business strategy and the expansion globally, what we are working into. We are currently working more with the associations, but yeah, we are now more entering into the federal and the enterprises as well. So this is a quick introduction at me. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. I know even for NinjaTropic, the funny thing is we started off in associations and then we started working with everyone, but then we realized we just really like working with associations. So it's a fun market and you guys have a ton of experience there. And with the 2 decades that you have under your belt, I'm sure that you've seen a lot of evolution in technology in terms of what's possible, and MapleLMS has been along for that ride, but it's probably evolving at a quicker rate now. So first question I have is, most LMS platforms were built before modern AI existed. What fundamentally changes now, right? What do you see in terms of shifting, and how does the LMS look in this AI first world?
So good question, first of all. Obviously, before AI, learning was about content management actually, where I would say that traditional LMS were more focusing on the course administration, content delivery, compliance tracking, right? Your learning catalogs or the completion reporting kind of things. But the way AI entered into it, it's a more, I would say, the learning becoming a more system of intelligence. AI actually shifted the focus from managing courses to enabling performance. So for an example, instead of asking what courses should employees complete, organization can ask what skills are missing, what knowledge does this employee need right now, how can we improve performance at the moment of need. So these kind of intelligence question comes in and capability development is happening using the AI. So I would say rather than repository of an account, it is more the fundamentally seeing the user's behavior and changing accordingly the knowledge gap and filling it in that way, right? So I see few fundamental shifting actually from learning management moving to a capability management, and then I would see the learning events moving to the continuous learning now, more from search. Now it is becoming a more guidance actually. Generic path that LMS were having, it is more now personalized growth, I would say. And I would say measuring completion is now moved to measuring business impact.
Yeah, I love the approach and insight there. I know one of the things we're excited about is exactly what you said, the shift from delivering knowledge or functioning as a content library. And for us in the e-learning development space, we're excited about the more opportunity to get legitimate practice, right? I know there's the system approach in terms of leveraging AI to diagnose where your institution or organization needs content, where people need support, but then also even on a micro level, right? How can you create practice within e-learning that wasn't possible before? And even within these past few months, we have seen a ton of evolution happening. And so we're going to keep seeing that, right? Evolution every few months instead of every few years. How does that change the product strategy at your organization or even other LMSs? Because I'm sure a lot of you guys kind of operate the same way.
Right. No, absolutely. This is actually, I would say now we are shifting from traditional product roadmap to a more product, I would say platform centric actually. So roadmaps are actually becoming hypotheses. Now AI era roadmap is coming into very different with continuous experimentation is happening, rapid validation is happening, fast deployment is happening, and the product cycles becoming more continuous, right? So this is how frequently changes are happening rather than I would say the traditional roadmap. Every day, every month we are listening and working on what is going to be added quickly. So this is how we are working, and accordingly, because what is happening because of continuously demands from the customers, the impacts they wanted to see in their products as well. It is very rapidly happening. Very changes is very different. A roadmap is no more. It's a more becoming hypothesis actually, Eric.
That's funny. Because a hypothesis, I completely understand why, right? Because the assumptions are changing every month, right? What's possible and what might seem impressive now could completely be flipped within a matter of months based off of innovation that's coming out, or even expectations or different integrations or what's possible. And so
I would like to add one more important point. See, what is happening now because of AI being added and frequently it is changing. So everything moved into the predictions actually, and predicting what is going to be happening in the next few months or next couple of years ahead from here. Obviously, we are now predicting how the user expectations are going to be happening. So previously, it was not predicting, but it was a genuine traditional roadmap we were creating. Now it is all depending upon the prediction, even the competitive differentiation, even we are doing the all based on predicting actually. So that is moved into the more prediction, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, it's still complicated to actually expect. I know I would imagine in the past there was more of like a structured plan. Now you're kind of just going with the changes. The interesting thing about this is we are seeing expectations change as well in terms of what people want, right? And it's a lot more difficult in terms of balancing what's actually possible versus what's available now. Because in this new AI world, there's a big divergence of expectations as to what should be happening versus what's actually feasible. And it's great to see how you guys are navigating that gap. And I know one of these topics is personalization, right? That's a big focus in this AI world, right? Now we're no longer going to be receiving generalized content. It's going to be more personalized, more tailored to the actual behavior practices we need. But what does true personalization inside a learning platform actually look like now and 5 years from now?
So 5 years from now, obviously personalization going to look very different. And I would say the platform won't ask what course do you want to take. Instead, it will understand what is your role, what is your skills, what is your performance, what is your project, what is your career aspirations, right? And on that basis, it will continuously adapt and learning happening accordingly. Learning is going to becoming more predictive. The career personalization going to become more dynamic, And I would like to add the managers also getting that kind of personalized development too as well, that what skill gap is missing with them. Imagine there are 10,000 users in the LMS, and obviously all the users have been now automatically working through AI with the 10,000 personalized learning path. But drastic things are going to be changed, what I'm saying, from the static learning path to your AI-driven learning.
Now, that makes sense. I can see, even for us, right? So I work in the content development field, and this is a question that keeps me up all night, because I'm always thinking, like, how different is the industry going to be in 5 years? And that's a tough question to ask, or to answer more so, just because there's a lot of rapid development, there's new tech, there's varying levels of expectation as to what's possible, but then also you also have the people that like things the way they are. But I want your honest take on this. Does the concept of static learning paths eventually disappear? So what are your thoughts on that? Does the concept of static learning paths eventually disappear, or will it always be, in the future, be more customized to every individual?
So features will be more customized by individuals actually. So I would say the platform will continuously working with the AI competency framework kind of concept, where AI will be checking each user's skills, their capabilities, their business priorities, or could be their role, and the journeys are going to be adjust accordingly. It will automatically keep adjusting it. It will not be path A to path B to path C. This will continuously keep moving. It will keep changing, right? And that's how it is going to be changed. So I would say this learning path will be more with the AI competency framework, or the user's behavioral way. It will be capturing and keep changing accordingly. So I put a good example here. Think of it as you have a printed roadmap, and that has been replaced with the GPS navigation, right? So that is how it is going to be changed. Your whole journey will going to be keep moving the way your movement is going on, or interests or your capabilities are moving on, and your business.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I love that analogy. The printed roadmap, I'm going to use that and steal that for now on. So the printed roadmap, and for the Gen Z who's not familiar, back in the day, we used to travel with printed paper and map our approach. Now it's all digital. So I love that, because there's a lot more flexibility. There's circumstantial context information that's going to impact where learners are going, how they're evolving over time, which again, it's just exciting, right? Because there's too much. Actually, I would say it's exciting and a little nerve-wracking, because there's a lot happening at once. Now, how close are we to AI becoming an active learning companion instead of just a feature? Right? Because I know within the last 2 years, a lot of LMS organizations, they had to evolve, right? And they added certain features, but when will we start to see AI becoming an active learning companion that's almost integrated into the experience naturally?
So I would say technologically, if you see, we are already entering that phase. AI today is a feature right now. With most LMS platform, I would say currently use AI as a tool with content recommendations, with your course generation, with your search or your content summarization or chatbots, right? Now, when we are talking about AI tomorrow becoming as a companion, and it will not simply answering the questions. It understands who you are, what you are trying to achieve, what area you are struggling with, what skills you are missing, how could I fulfill that skill, what is your next growth opportunity, and it will accordingly actively helping to improve that. So this is how changes are going to be happen, Eric, what I see actually.
It's going to be interesting, because I know you're speaking a lot from the content management and customization perspective on learning paths, right? I'm always curious about what changes in content development, like how much of that process will be automated and personalized. And that's probably for another conversation. But I do want to ask, which organizations do you think will adopt AI-driven learning systems faster, and which organizations are at risk of falling behind?
I would say the right now, the blue collars, I would rather than say organization differences, but I would say the blue collars who are actively right now using the LMS, I think they will be sitting more back, and the other users who are more into the field, they would be more actively using. Now, I connect with the previous question you were having, the AI companion. Now, you imagine the way you are using the mobile apps continuously with you, the tablets with you, right? It is similarly going to be your companion, where everything you would be taking care or loading from it, because it would work in a very different way for you for each and every step. So it is true that the all these such areas where the nowadays, Eric, training is happening all over different type of organizations. Either those are certifications based, or it's a mandatory or compliance training it is happening. But it is true, going forward, I would say, rather than we should differentiate with the organization, I feel what I said is actually the frontier people or the extended people who are more into the field or non-blue collars people, they will be more utilizing the LMS. Either those are into the enterprise area, or those are in the associations, or those are in healthcare sectors or any other industries.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I know frontline workers typically don't have access, right? They're not, at least in the past decade, the LMS was almost a second thought for them because they weren't necessarily on platform, they weren't using it, or there wasn't really a skills-based delivery system for them on the platform. They relied on more localized support. But so what you're saying though is there's going to be a lot more practical application to frontline workers.
Absolutely. See, ultimately, the instructors are going to be replaced with the AI, actually. The skills, the way, imagine the AI is changing a lot. So the heavy machinery systems will be operated using the AI as well. So that skills of the people who are handling that kind of machines or systems, they need to be quickly equipped how to handle those kind of systems. So here, imagine that AI who is already working within that machine, keep letting that user update as well that, okay, how to operate me, or how I would be helping you in operating that machine. So it's a very different, if you'll see, the things are going to be changed because those users, very specific skilled they are and very specific certified they are. But if you see the blue collars, they have been working in different areas and they are very much highly qualified. So their skill gaps you will see hardly happening in that way. But here, the way it is changing, it's all making more sense for those people who are non-blue collars. They will be more frequently using, and it will be more companion going to be for them.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And it's great to have this option as accessible for them, because I know in the past, they've always been, frontline workers have always been kind of disregarded in this space. Now, this has been very useful. I'm excited about the future. And honestly, I know MapleLMS is doing a lot in this space. So where's the best place to find you guys? What conferences will you guys be at? And where's the best place to connect with you?
So we are mostly participating exhibiting most of the events in US, where Dreamforce is one of the important where we are continuously going on, because our LMS is MapleLMS is Salesforce LMS, and on top of it, obviously, as we are also associated with working with associations, so SAE is where we are mostly participating. Related to those, if those are world tour that is happening by Dreamforce, or there are other SAE events, those are happening, association events, we are being there as well. On top of it, few other events, conferences that we have entered into this year, and for the next 2-3 years, those are Shrum, ATD, Devlon, where we are also exhibiting there.
Nice. What about Association Forum? Have you guys considered that one? They have an event at the end of the year.
Absolutely. We are into MMC. We are MMC Tech that is recently happened in DC. We were there as well. And the SAE annual that is happening, we are there. And Association Forum, SAE Demo Day, we are all covering each and everything related to the association.
Nice. A lot of travel. I'm going to be at ASAE as well. Hopefully we can grab a drink or grab some lunch. I appreciate the time, Pramil.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to having you on potentially in the future as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Want to learn more about microlearning best practices? We've got you covered. Check out the video cards for more related content. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly tips and explore the description for a curated list of resources to continue your e-learning journey.